will slip through that portal between being and not being. No longer seeing or hearing or feeling, touching or smelling, thinking, all of it sinking back into the black void of the unknown.
If you can get them talking about death, and particularly when you start sharing a personal story that you have about somebody that you've lost, it's like boom, and you are connected in that moment, and that's sort of that frailty, that beautiful frailty of the human condition and your own mortality, and the fact that everything that you love will be gone one day as well, and you're just sharing in that moment of vulnerability, and there's just something so beautiful about that, and you may never meet that person again, but you shared a really important moment of your humanity together, and I love that.
And when they tell me later that he's dead, it's like I can actually hear the sound of my heart breaking in two. This enormous ripping sound that seems to engulf my whole world and shatter everything that I thought my life, my present, and my future was supposed to be.
So this workshop really helped me to get that maybe it's avoidance of grief that keeps us from talking about death and maybe looking at it more closely, and sort of uncomfortable, painful feelings that come with that sense of loss. The shadow puppetry I really enjoyed. It gave a visual side to things, and that helped me to sort of imagine what was happening with the story and helped me sort of get into it and sort of allow myself to be immersed in the story, and brought that forwards for me. So I really enjoyed the shadow puppet side.
Princess's little white rat.
I love the conversations in the middle at the interval, because I guess people were ready and open to share the wisdom that came up and the kind of common humanity of the stories that people shared. I really appreciated that, actually.
Bringing together these elements of the storytelling and the poetry and the shadow theatre, attempting really to kind of integrate that with the discussion, so that, you know, the discussion is very much a part of it. I think it's about keeping that mindset all the time, isn't it? That actually, you know, any part of what we're doing could be really landing with somebody, and could be just what they need, but also could be, you know, might be quite uncomfortable. So I think that caretaking of the audience is really important, and encouraging people to, you know, to take what they need for themselves as well.
Everything I feel about love and grief and life and death, and what it is to be human.
I think it's just touching something quite deeply that I'm finding it quite hard to put into words, really, but I'm feeling really, really grateful for it. Yeah, just have a doorway to open to being able to talk about grief. And I think the stories and the way that they work together, it just makes me feel like a sense of this is community, and this is something that we're all sharing together.
Because I think if anyone hadn't thought about it and they just came along, it's totally accessible for anyone to experience, because we come through very sort of simple stories, and maybe someone was saying English wasn't their first language, so they really appreciated the visual nature of it.
I would very much encourage other people to come and see the show, yes, and to speak about this in general. And I think this was a beautiful way to just gently wake up inside us grief that we have and carry, and everybody has it, you know, it's not just each individual. Only when we embrace death can we embrace life. It frees us, because we don't have the fear then anymore, and we can enjoy living.
I was very deeply moved by it, and I can't really explain why that's the case. I think it was a culmination of lots of things. It was to do with the situation, I think, that we've all been in, with the kind of lockdown and all of that. It seemed very pertinent, the subject matter. It felt like lots of things were coming together, and I was very moved by it. I think it had a lot of heart. Stories that Sue told, particularly her personal stories, it had authenticity and heart to it.
It's soulful, it's human, and I think I like to feel that actually what we've created, it's like anybody, whatever their faith may be, or if they have no particular faith that they follow, that they will connect with it in their own way. And for some people, they might bring a lot of their spiritual outlook on life into that, and others
and it
so
won't
much.
contradict anyone's.
No.
I don't feel that any of the content contradicts anyone's religious beliefs or goes against.
There isn't really a set of rules on death, is there? It just happens. Yeah.
What if all of our sleep labours in pursuit of forever are actually poisoning the fleeting beauty of the finite gift of life that we've been given?